I'm absolutely sick and tired of the incompetence that we are seeing from our so-called opposition, Her Majesty's loyal opposition, the Labour Party. And that's why the government keeps getting away with everything, because the Labour Party are all over the place and they are just basically campaigning on lies. This is what the Labour Party have been posting on social media over the last few days. Under the Conservatives, inflation in the UK is higher than any other G7 country. It's so easy to play with numbers. So there is a big problem right now in the UK and across the Western world with the cost of living and inflation. And it's mainly caused by governments over the last year. Since 2020 and lockdown days, they caused it, right? And you can't defend any of the governments. Now, this graph shows UK's rate in inflation rate is 9%, higher than America and higher than Germany and the EU and even Japan. Well, the reality is that number is fake because it's so easy to be selective and to find the stats that suits you. This is not how you fight the government. You need to actually hold the government to account, but do not spread lies and fake news. We have the latest data. For example, we can see the UK is currently an actual CPI annual rate in cost of actual food 6.7%. Again, not defending the UK because this is a bad situation. People are in need right now. All of us. The cost of the food and energy and everything else. But if you want to fight the government, be accurate and explain why. 6.7%, that's the real rate, which is still high. But do not pretend that for partisan issues and political point scoring, that you're going to basically make up a number by adding other stats to it and then use the other countries, play with their numbers to find the lowest number that suits you. Because we can show you, Guido actually put this together, the simplified version of the graph. 6.7% UK, just generally speaking, the Eurozone, 8.7%, so higher than us. EU as a whole, 8.9%. The reason that they got away with those fake numbers or essentially doctored stats is that they forgot to, for example, mention that Spain, the latest number that we had since like March and April, they hit 9.8%, almost 10%. And things are just going to get worse in places like Spain. They forgot to, for example, tell you about the Netherlands. The Netherlands situation, 9.6% last month. So in May, we're going to have a worse situation in the Netherlands. The way things are going, I mean, it might come down to 9.4%, but it's still higher than the UK. If the Labour Party really cared about the cost of living crisis, then they will actually have a proper debate and a proper solution. But because they don't, the only solution that they have is that they come out and attack Boris Johnson for raising taxes, which is a bad thing. But then their solution is, we're going to raise more taxes. How is this basically the two options we have in this country for us, the electorate and taxpayers? Because if the Conservatives don't want to be Conservatives, and then the other option that we have, like actual viable option that could form a government, is the Labour Party, the actual socialists, then what's the point? We don't really have a Conservative Party in this country at the moment. So if Boris Johnson wants to remain in power, medium term at least, not even long term, he needs to become Conservative again. He needs to act like a Conservative Prime Minister and a Conservative government. Otherwise, the whole thing is going to go down eventually. He might be able to just about beat Starmer next time, but what about next time? What about 5 years from now, 10 years from now? It's not just about parties winning elections. It's about the country and the state of our nation. And the people's livelihood are actually at risk. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me or maybe you have a different point of view. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi and we are the media.